Ladies and gentlemen, schools across America cannot keep teachers. Many of them are resigning. And school districts are now scrambling to find substitutes. So this came out on AP September 13th, 2020. Teacher departures leave schools scrambling for substitutes. With many teachers opting out of returning to the classroom because of coronavirus, schools around the US are scrambling to find replacements and, in some places, lowering certification requirements to help get substitutes in the door. Several states have seen surges in educators filing for retirement or taking leaves of absence. Departures are straining staff in places that were dealing with shortages of teachers and substitutes even before the pandemic created an education crisis. So, this English teacher in Indiana, she is leaving. And she was only a few years away from retirement, but she felt her school leadership was not fully committed to ensuring proper social distancing and worried that not enough safety equipment would be provided for students and teachers. And you know what? That seems to be the number one complaint. When these teachers resigned, they said, they promised social distancing and people would have masks on. And then when they show up, there's no social distancing at all. You got a lot of students and teachers walking around with no mask on. Nobody is taking any measures to keep the students safe. And a lot of these teachers are like, the hell with it. I'll just leave. Overall, there were just this utter disrespect for teachers and for their lives. She said, we're expecting to go back with so little. When school leaders said teachers would be going back in person, full throttle, that's when I said, I'm not doing it. No. Teachers in at least 3 states have died after bouts of the coronavirus since the start of the new school year. It's unclear how many teachers in the US have become ill with COVID 19, but Mississippi alone reported 604 cases among teachers and staff. The cases where teachers are exposed to the virus, they could face pressure to return to the classroom. The Trump administration has declared teachers to be critical infrastructure workers and guidance that could give the green light to exempting them from the quarantine requirements. Well, that's what he did to the meat plant workers, and they're doing really bad. Throughout Indiana, more than 600 teachers retired. And that was since July. 600 teachers have retired, according to the state data. Although the state gets most of its teacher requirements during the summer, surveys suggest more retirements than usual could happen as the calendar year progresses. Yeah, because they don't want to be there. Okay, they don't want to be there. They don't want to be in those classrooms and contract COVID and take it home to their families. Okay, I've gotten more teachers calling me back saying, well, I'm going to go ahead and retire, Whitcomb said. Some still wanted to go back in the classroom, but didn't think the risk was worth it. They looked at their grandkids and the life they had, and I think they're saying, I'm just not going to do it. In Salt Lake City, Utah, the state's most populated metropolitan area, more than 800 teachers have resigned or retired early because of concerns about the coronavirus in schools. More than half of those happened in one county where 5 school districts, Granite School District, all of the district teachers who left were fined $1,000 for failing to give 30-day notice. Shoot, they just getting the hell up on out of there. They don't care. Ain't even giving notice. They are just getting out. Wow. Mike McDonough, president of the Granite Education Association Teachers Union, said the departures stem from frustration over how schools have reopened. And granted, most students will return to in-person instructions for 4 days a week. And there are a few opportunities for teachers to instruct solely online. Some teachers waited until the last minute, hoping that the district would change its reopening plan. But checking out of the classroom was the only way to keep themselves safe. Teachers are still scared and overwhelmed, McDonough said. I have heard from teachers that are just heartbroken to leave the classroom, but they didn't feel safe going back. They don't want the level of risk, and they have no other choice but to get out. Education leaders in states including Arizona, Kansas, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, and Texas have said they are bracing for worsening teacher shortages as the pandemic drives them away. To try to maintain staff levels in classrooms, the Missouri Board of Education made it easier to become a substitute teacher under an emergency rule instead of the previous requirement of 60 hours of college credit. Eligible substitute now only need to obtain a high school diploma, complete a 20-hour online training course, and pass a background check. Iowa responded similarly, relaxing coursework requirements and the minimum work age for newly hired substitute. In Connecticut, college students have been asked to step in as substitutes. Okay, wow. So they're just doing, I guess, whatever they can just to get like some type of adult in the classroom. Many who work as substitutes are retired teachers, such as 67-year-old Margaret Henderson of Phoenix, who said she will not return as she planned. I do not want to get called into the classroom where a teacher has called out because of a virus or to quarantine. And we know that's going to happen more and more, Henderson said. There are still uncertainties about the safety of reopening the school buildings. Can you blame substitutes for not wanting to go in? Yeah, because she's got a point. If a teacher is out because they contracted COVID, why would you want to go in that classroom at all? I wouldn't want to. I mean, I wouldn't want to go in a classroom where a teacher was sick with coronavirus. She got a point there. In rural Iowa, Hinton Community Schools, Hinton High School principal Phil Gostowers said the school is already down to a third of the substitute teachers it had last year. More than half of those are also willing to sub in other districts. He said, making it even more troublesome when teachers are absent. Alan Little, who retired as a math teacher in Sioux City, Iowa, this past spring said, he said it's too complicated to go back into a classroom with coronavirus going on. Although he anticipated returning to work as a part-time substitute this fall, fears about the virus are holding him back. He encouraged his son, who is studying to be a social studies teacher, who considered getting experience as a substitute, to weigh the risk carefully. We are thinking about students, our school, our community, and every decision we make, Little said. But we also have to think about ourselves and our family. What's best for us? Maybe more and more of us is not being inside the classroom right now. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. I mean, what you're asking for is a lot. And Trump signing an executive order trying to force these teachers in the classroom, that's not going to work either. That's not going to work. They're going to leave. Just like you see them leaving now. They're not going to follow that man's executive order when a highly contagious virus is in the schools. And every week there are, and I kid you not, you can look this up yourself. Every week there are schools across America that are reporting 90 cases, 200 cases. That's happening every week around the country. People aren't going to put their lives on the line being in a classroom because the president feels kids need to go to school. I, for the life of me, can't understand why you don't put your health first, but hey, that's on you. If your kid gets sick, you're the only one that got to deal with that is you. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.